The city is covered with snow and Christmas decorations. The scene then switches to an apartment where a girl is getting ready. Her name is Samantha Logan, and she is the protagonist of our story. She shows 2 outfits to her friend, Leanne, asking for her opinion. It turns out that she is heading out for a meeting on Christmas break and has no idea what this is about. Samantha gets ready and leaves for the meeting. Upon reaching the location, she finds a man dressed as Santa and gives him some money, showing her good nature and Christmas spirit. The meeting is with the officials of a non-profit organization, and since she is a teacher, they want her to run their Educate NYC summer program. The officials want him to commit for 3 years to this program and give her the Christmas holidays to think about it. After her meeting, Samantha calls her boyfriend, confirming their coffee date. She gets the coffee, and her boyfriend arrives. His name is Alexander, and he works as a diplomat. Alex is a European who is working in America. While the 2 of them take a stroll around, Alex's boyfriend follows them. She thinks that this is weird, but hasn't known many diplomats to think of it as wrong. Upon finding that she has been offered a job as the director of the summer program, he says that they need to celebrate. That night, the 2 of them have a celebratory dinner at a fine restaurant. She is excited about the new opportunity, but at the fact that she would not have any more summer vacations, Alex's face falls. When she asks, he dismisses it as nothing but soon confesses that he wants her to travel with him to his country, Moldavia, and stay there for a while. Samantha scoffs because he cannot even come to visit her family for Christmas and wants her to drop everything and go with him. Alex confesses that before meeting her, he had no intentions of staying here for long, but his family wishes to see him back. She tells him about the Christmas celebration back in her hometown, Maple Falls, and seems very excited. The next morning, Samantha is leaving for Maple Falls when she gets a call from Alex, telling her that he misses her. She smiles and hangs up the call because she has a flight to take. On the other hand, Alex texts his mother, informing her that he won't be able to come home for Christmas. His mom immediately calls him back, angry at his sudden change of plans. Since his family doesn't know about Samantha, he says that a friend named Sam has invited him to spend Christmas. His mom tries to remind him that he has responsibilities to fulfill, but he ends the call, promising to call her on Christmas. Samantha lands in Maple Falls and is picked up by her dad, Jim Logan. Her mom, Sandra Logan, engulfs her in a big hug. The home smells of the delicious food Sandra is cooking, because finally, Samantha is home after a long time. The next morning, as snow falls down on Manhattan, Alex takes his stuff and boards the plane to his destination, Maple Falls. That night, when Samantha and her family are out for dinner, she bumps into an old friend, Heidi, who is a waitress. She starts bombarding Samantha about her big city life, and also mentions her ex, Patrick. Heidi tries to put the idea of getting back together with Patrick, but Samantha shuts her up by mentioning Alex. Leaving her behind, Samantha joins her parents for dinner, not knowing what awaits her. On the other hand, after landing in Maple Falls, Alex drives to surprise Samantha, but is stopped on his way by police asking for his license and registration. Finding this a perfect opportunity, Alex asks the officer to help him find Samantha's place. The officer tells him that the Logan family has a Wednesday night tradition to go to the Archie's Diner, and he can find them there. As Alex drives away, the officer looks at him. Samantha is having a sandwich, commenting on how delicious it is, when she sees Alex coming in through the door. She is shocked at seeing him there and introduces him to her parents. They welcome him and ask him to sit down. But before he can even sit, Heidi drops the tray she was carrying and calls Alex, Prince Alexander. Samantha is confused, but before Alex can clear the situation, Heidi squeals in excitement and tells everyone that he is Prince Alexander Hendricks, the Crown Prince of Moldavia. Not having any escape, Alex admits that he is in fact a prince. Samantha stands there stunned, because Heidi knows everything about Alexander, and she herself knew nothing. Heidi recommends Alex get Patrick to work as his security guard, as he is a police officer and really committed to her work. Sandra sends her away, asking her to bring a check. Left alone with Samantha, Alex tries to apologize to her. She gets in the car with him, and he says that he is going to tell her about his identity soon. He admits that the idea of staying away from her for even 2 weeks made him sad, and he wanted to come here to get to know her. And the real reason for inviting her to Moldavia was also to show her who he really is. Samantha is on the verge of tears, but his honesty, that he never wanted to be a prince, and that is the reason he came to America, to find his own identity, thaws her heart. She admits that she is overwhelmed but doesn't want him to leave. She smiles and leans in to kiss him. All matters sorted, Samantha and Alex head back home. Sandra and Jim are worried about Samantha, and when they arrive, they stand up to welcome Alex. Samantha tells them to treat him like a normal person. Getting comfortable, Jim informs Alex that they have reserved the guest room for him, and he better not be spotted near Samantha's room. Once in his room, Alex starts to unpack. Sandra arrives with a pillow and extra blankets, and he thanks her for the hospitality. On the other hand, Samantha takes out her laptop and starts searching for Prince Alexander. The first article she stumbles upon is about his presence in Maple Falls with a mysterious girl. She is shocked to find that Heidi has uploaded a picture of them from tonight and begins to freak out. She calls Leanne and updates her about the whole situation. Doing the duties of a best friend, Leanne hangs up the call and starts searching for Prince Alexander of Medelvia. The next morning in Medelvia, Alex's mom, Queen Helena, can be seen pacing the room. Her husband, kind Frederick, sits nearby reading a book. He tells her to calm down, but soon their personal secretary, Felicia Holst, arrives. Helena tells Felicia that the Crown Prince has flown to a small town to see his friend Sam, but stops at seeing her reaction. Felicia tells them both that Alex hasn't chosen a friend Sam over them, but Samantha, who is his girlfriend. She tells them that his security chief admitted that Alex has been seeing Samantha for some time now. Once Helena is stunned because she wanted him to marry Clara Jensen, a baroness and perfect match for him. She then shows them the article about Alex and Samantha. Helena starts to freak out, but Felicia offers to go talk to Alex. Helena agrees and sends a message to him. The Royal Marriage Act gives them, as the king and queen, the power to reject any marriage with a non-royal. After Felicia leaves, Frederick says that he thinks Helena is being a bit rough when Alex is considered. On the other hand, in Maple Falls, Alex and Samantha head out for breakfast. She drives him to his favorite spot, and the owner, an old lady called Bee, immediately recognizes Alex as well. To stop her from gushing over Alex, Samantha orders 2 Christmas Delight donuts. They take their food and head out to eat in the open. Samantha is worried that Heidi would have told the whole town about Alex being a prince. He tells her to calm down and enjoy, because they can deal with the royal issues later. After the donuts, they head over to Archie's diner for some coffee. While coming out, they bump into the police officer who helped Alex the other day. Alex is all smiling, but his smile vanishes when the officer reveals that he used to date Samantha. It turns out he is none other than Patrick. Samantha tells Alex that it was a long time ago, and they broke up. After Patrick leaves, they come face to face with Heidi, who is overly excited about seeing Alex. Samantha confronts her for uploading their picture, and she starts making excuses. But Alex tells her that it is fine, and she heads over to work. After breakfast, they come back home and find Jim cleaning some dishes. Alex hands over a parcel he bought for Jim from the bees, and Samantha warns him about not telling Sandra. But before Jim can even take a bite, Sandra arrives. But they don't have any idea that a problem bigger than Sandra is waiting for them. When the bell rings, Sandra goes to check the door and finds Felicia on the other side. She requests to see Alex and is invited inside the house. Once inside, Alex introduces Felicia to everyone and then asks about her reason for being there. Felicia apologizes for intruding and asks Alex to accompany her to the hotel. As they leave, Samantha follows them out. As she watches them go, sadness engulfs her. To cheer her up, Jim offers to take her out. On their way to the hotel, Felicia accuses him of leaving his security detail in New York and hiding his identity. He admits that he loves her and doesn't want to scare her by talking about his royal identity. Felicia sighs and says that she is here for her royal duties and will leave in a few days. Before getting out of the car, she comments that Samantha is lovely and a great choice. On the other hand, Jim takes Samantha to a jewelry shop. Turns out that for their 30th wedding anniversary, Jim is getting Sandra a beautiful gift. A beautiful pair of diamond earrings. Samantha gasps upon seeing them, calling them perfect for a queen. Talking of Queen Helena Medelvia is worried about her only child, Alexander. It turns out that Felicia reported back, saying that Samantha is a lovely girl. Frederick takes Alex's side and supports his decisions, while Helena still wants Clara to be her daughter-in-law. She starts to think and comes up with a sinister plan to level the playing field. After buying their gift, Jim and Samantha head back. He asks her if she would move to Medelvia for Alex, and she sighs, since this isn't an easy decision to make. She tells her father about the new job offer, which bounds her to New York for a couple of years, and she doesn't have any idea what this will mean for her and Alex. Jim tells her that they know that she is meant for a bigger life than Maple Falls could offer, and she should go live it. After getting Felicia all settled in, Alex asks the driver to drive him back to Samantha's place and orders him to leave him alone for the rest of the vacation. Meanwhile, in Medelvia, Helena calls Clara to the castle and asks for her help. She tells Clara to go visit Alex in America to remind him of his duties to the nation. Later that day, the Logans are decorating the Christmas tree and having a great time telling Alex about all of their stories. He then admits that he never, once in his life, decorated a Christmas tree. Hearing this, Samantha encourages him to help decorate the trees. On the other hand, Frederick finds Helena, who talks about her plan. He still believes that Alex and Samantha are meant to be, but she cuts him off, saying that their son would only be marrying in a royal household. He tries to reason with her by saying that Alex actually loves Samantha, and sending Clara there is ruining his happiness. Meanwhile, in Maple Falls, everyone heads over for a gingerbread housemaking competition. While Alex, Samantha, and Jim participate in the competition, Felicia and Sandra talk. Sandra presents her reservations, and Felicia is shocked because who could be against marrying their daughter to a prince? Sensing the increasing tension, they head over to the table where the others are making the house. It turns out that Patrick is one of the judges in the program, and when Jim mentions him helping Samantha with the house a few years ago, Alex shifts uncomfortably. After the time ends, it is revealed that Alex and Samantha have made a whole castle out of gingerbread, and they also end up winning the competition. As if on cue, a reporter arrives with her cameraman and starts asking Alex questions. But before things could go bad, Felicia tells the guards to escort them out. After the gingerbread house competition, before leaving, Felicia compliments Samantha, but before she can go, Leanne arrives. Samantha is more than happy to see her best friend, and Alex decides to vacate the guest room for her and move into the hotel. He rides with Felicia and confides in her that this trip was meant to bring Alex and Samantha together, but he feels like problems keep coming. She tells him to have some faith, and they say their final goodbye. But before Felicia can leave for the airport, she gets a phone call from Helena, who informs her about the situation. Since Clara is coming to Maple Falls, Felicia is ordered to stay back. Later that night, Leanne and Samantha sit down on her bed, and Leanne is curious about how she feels about everything. Samantha admits that she is worried, but will do everything like they do on Christmas. The next morning, Samantha is woken up by a good morning message from Alex. He asks her to sneak out and meet him at B's. Upon reaching B's, she finds Alex already waiting for her. It turns out he has already ordered her favorite Christmas delight donuts. A man gives them a pamphlet about Maple Falls' Christmas hayride. She sighs and admits that she is worried about journalists and paparazzi following them. Alex offers to go back to New York if that makes her comfortable, but she wants him to be here with her. Since with him, every moment will be under the watchful eye of the paparazzi. She wants to take the hayride as a test ride and see if she would be able to handle it. On the other hand, Felicia leaves her room and goes to the room next door, where she finds Clara. Felicia informs her that Alexander is not in his room at the hotel, and she would like to announce her arrival before Clara can be a shock to him. Alex gets back to the hotel and is shocked to see Felicia coming out of Clara's room. Since he doesn't know that Clara is here, he is utterly confused. He tells her that Samantha is making a great effort trying to understand what his life is, and he doesn't want Felicia or anyone else to ruin it. She advises him to stop trying to protect Samantha because she needs to know what she is getting into before fully committing to it. Later, Alex and Samantha head over to the farms for the hayride. Leanne, Jim, and Sandra also accompany them. Almost the whole town is present at the hayride. While in the line to get some cider, they bump into Heidi, who is getting some cider for herself, and Patrick. Seeing her, Alex advises her to go ask Patrick out because it is clear that she has feelings for him. After she leaves, Samantha leans in and kisses Alex. Smiling, he admits that he can get used to this small-town life. After getting the cider, they head over for the ride and have a wonderful moment. Upon getting off the ride, Samantha spots Felicia and is shocked. It turns out that Felicia has arrived at the farms with Clara by her side. Stunned, Alex approaches them and asks what she is doing here. Out of tradition, he kisses her hand, and this makes Samantha approach them as well. Felicia introduces Clara, and when Clara calls Samantha just a friend of Alex, she gets unsettled. Alex takes Samantha to a side and explains the situation. He tells her that he has known Clara since childhood, and his mother wants to see them get married. Their moment is interrupted by the journalist, who terms Clara as Alex's fiancée. Samantha looks heartbroken, and Alex tries to explain that he isn't engaged, but she walks away. He follows her out and asks for forgiveness. Samantha, with tears flowing down her cheeks, says that she believes Alex, but it is clear that his mom doesn't want her to be in his life. He calls his mom stubborn, but this is not enough to stop her. She tells him that he is needed in Moldavia and apparently marries a baroness. But she, on the other hand, has a life in New York and wants a boyfriend who doesn't have to stand against his family to love her. She apologizes and leaves him standing alone. Leanne and Sandra follow her, but Jim stops to give Alex some advice. He tells him that Samantha never dreamt of becoming a princess. Alex offers to do anything, and Jim leaves, telling her that for love, one needs to make sacrifices. That night, while Alex is lying in his bed at the hotel, a knock wakes him up. Felicia is on the other side, waiting for food. She enters his room and asks him not to starve himself, but Alex is angry at her for ambushing the woman he loves and making her feel that he is disloyal. Felicia terms all of this as her duty to the crown. She then says that royal life is not for the faint-hearted. He and Samantha need to decide what they are willing to endure for one another. Clara, on the other hand, knows what is expected of her. Handing him a plate of food, she leaves. On the other hand, Samantha sits with her family, crying. They try to comfort her, and she says she is okay. She even says that it is Jim and Sandra's anniversary, and this is all worth celebrating. The next morning, Samantha wakes up to the sound of a newspaper arriving. She starts reading it, and the first news is about Alex cheating on Samantha. Leanne arrives, and she shows her the newspaper. She is worried about Alex marrying Clara, but Leanne comforts her by saying that everything will turn out for the best. The girls hug and get ready for breakfast. The whole day passes without any communication between Alex and Samantha. Furious at the situation, he calls his parents. Helena is happy because he will be coming home for Christmas, but Alex tells them that he does not want to come. He says that it is important that they have a talk face to face. He tells them clearly that he would not govern Modelvia if he doesn't get to have a say in his life. He hangs up the call with a promise to see them soon. After the call, Helena and Fredericks talk about how Alex has shown what kind of king he would be. Alex goes through his phone looking at his pictures with Samantha, while on the other hand, Samantha and Leanne get ready for the night. He packs his stuff, and the memories of their time together flood his mind. He then heads over to Clara's room. He asks if she was raised to marry him. Clara tells him that there were never any promises, but she was taught to behave like a future queen. Alex apologizes for her being treated like this, all under the misunderstanding that she would be his wife. He confesses his love for Samantha and says that he might have lost Samantha forever, but this doesn't mean that he would be marrying her. They both deserve to be with someone they love. Clara starts laughing, and Alex is shocked. She confesses that she was never cut out to be a princess. She loves a man named Felix, but they never got together because he was afraid. Alex gives her the go-ahead to ask him out, and they hug. On the other hand, the Logans get ready for the night, the Christmas Eve dance. Since it is also Jim and Sandra's anniversary, he confesses his love for her, which has grown over the years. He then takes out her gift, and she smiles in happiness. When Leanne finally arrives, they all head out for the dance. Meanwhile, Alex is getting ready to leave. His driver takes his bag out to the car, and he is left alone with Felicia. He tells her that Helena deems Samantha unfit for being a royal. But is he fit to be a royal? He asks if it is wrong to honor his own wishes and not just out of obligation. Felicia smiles and says, "Why does he have to choose between the two? Why can't he modernize the monarchy?" With that, she leaves. For the Maple Falls annual Christmas dance, the Mistletoe Mambo, the whole of the town is gathered. Upon reaching the venue, Jim and Sandra head over to dance. Alone with Leanne, Samantha confesses that she misses Alex. Soon Patrick arrives, and she thanks him for stopping the reporters the other day. He smiles and says that he always wanted the best for her. Heidi arrives, interrupting their conversation, and tells them that the committee wants her to give a speech to honor her parents' anniversary. After Samantha leaves, Heidi tells Patrick that she knows how it feels to love someone who loves someone else. Patrick laughs, saying that he isn't in love with Samantha. Finding this as the perfect opportunity, Heidi expresses her feelings for him, and they both head over to the dance floor. After the dances, Heidi heads over to the stage and invites Samantha. Samantha starts her speech by wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. She tells them that when she was little, she didn't know that Christmas Eve was her parents' anniversary because they never made a fuss about it. While she is giving the speech, Alex enters the venue, talking about her parents' love story. Tears well up in her eyes, and she begins to stutter. Alex completes her sentence, and everyone is shocked to see him. Samantha gets off the stage and talks to Alex. He confesses his love for her and says that a leader doesn't accept limitations, but challenges them. And now, for the first time in his life, he believes that he can be that leader, only if she is by his side. Samantha and Alex confess their love in front of the whole of Maple Falls and share a passionate kiss. The whole crowd burst into applause. Heidi once again takes the stage and announces that this year, King and Queen of the Mistletoe Mambo are none other than Samantha and Alex. They take each other's hands and get onto the dance floor. The next morning, Samantha and Alex are sitting in Logan's house, celebrating Christmas. He thinks about his parents seeing what fun Christmas is here. Upon hearing his request, Samantha takes out her tablet, and they FaceTime his parents. Helena is happy to see Alex, and he tells them that it was her idea for them to connect with his parents on Christmas. Helena thanks the Logans for looking after Alex on the holiday, and invites them over for the next Christmas. The movie ends 1 year later, with Samantha and Alexander dancing in the royal palace of Medelvia.